was in the sink right behind my chair, he was standing right behind me, making sadistic comments, washing butcher knives. I said, right, am I on candid camera? Officer Wilson from West Sacramento is a practically identical doppelganger of his that Robert Merton certainly operates through. I cannot stand these people at first sight. Semmerk is also very familiar as a type 2. I cannot stand their types of persons. They are disgusting. There has been verbiage verbalized from the manifestation that over and over and over again, as background of my past, embellished and distorted, keeps on being repeated redundantly by them over and over, trillions of times over 6 years. There is the repeated story of that he did intend to assault me with a butcher knife and kill me in the basement in the manner of Mrs. Merton's favorite infatuation, a band that is under the management of, actually, I've come to learn, never really known before, relatives of mine in Vancouver of the Horton family that were hardly known at all, but are very significant to the Avon Lake Wiccan cult. And they are really disgusting and sick. A major infatuation of this high priestess of the Avon Lake Wiccan cult, and the band is stupidly called Skinny Puppy. They were absolutely nothing but garbage that nobody knew about. But as I said, is very significant to them that they commit human sacrifices to Satan during their concerts in very twisted ways, inventing ways to do evil. This has been discussed repeatedly as an obsession because it's their obsession from Avon Lake. It was never anybody else's really ever before. I hear Princess Watson. There was discussion that they tried to fabricate a reason within their enemy and total a moral confusion. Fabricate reasons that they think are reasons to them. Audra was quite flirtatious. Gross, but flirtatious. And a fabricated reason was that he had a right to harm me like this because on the high school marching band bus to a football game one time, Audra had imagined to give my finger a blowjob. Audra had imagined her finger to give my finger a blowjob, quote unquote. But then also further embellishment that there was some activity without having sex before. But it's all embellished and it's all hysterical. And there was that she did pretend, imagining that her finger did give my finger a blowjob without my intent or initiation. And I did say that this would be really bizarre to Mr. Rogers, and what in the heck would he say to Trolley if such a thing would happen in the land of make-believe, because, really, Annie M was supposed to be the big problem to the king, and I said something like that, and it was really stupid thing she really did, and I don't know what this has anything to do with the reason to kill me and Officer Wilson is suspectly too. And it's so crazy. You think I'm talking about it over and over and over again. But we all in the high school had come to know by experience that she was a really extreme nymphomaniac. And we had a saying that, see, like, if I gave her a ride before somewhere and there was, like, at the same time, we did walk into a high school dance on a Friday night, and I thought it was really stupid, and then, like, went to the turnstile, freaking saw things that go on, and thought that the wiggling at each other was really dumb, and I freaking said, leaving. there was supposed to be something else that happened. But there is a phrase that she goes straight for the balls, and it has marshmallows for boobs, and everybody knew it. When you go to Washington, D.C., and for a band contest that is in Washington, D.C. at the same time that Oliver North is in Iran-Contra hearings, but you didn't even watch the news and know this yet at the time, but in retrospect, that was happening concurrently when Mark Perney, that is a weirdo, that is also of infiltrants of organized crime in federal agencies, and a major drug cartel high in the hierarchy of it, living in Arizona at the same time. And whether he's in the NSA or the CIA or both, it's really loose. And he's a total flake and loony. Thinks he's my grandma Heidsieck. Did start to get on my bus when we were going between places and refer to me